All right, hey guys, this is video number 2 for your opinion writing today about homework. All right, so remember, as we read through these 2 passages, you're supposed to be kind of establishing your opinion, what you think about homework. I can probably already guess what most of you think. Probably the same thing I do. Anyway, this second passage is called "Weekends Are for Fun." Let's see if this opinion is different than the first opinion that we read. Okay, so follow along with me as I read this out loud. All right. Homework on the weekends is more harmful than helpful. One university study explored the effects of homework. The study leaders asked, does homework help students do better in school? Homework had very little effect on younger kids, especially. Homework isn't helping us. Why have it on weekends? Homework can actually harm students. Young people need their weekends. They should forget about school. They should just be kids. Weekend homework is stressful for kids. It ruins their time off. On weekends, kids should spend time with their families. Sports and hobbies are also important. What happens if kids can't do these things? They are tired and unhappy on Mondays. And tired and unhappy students don't perform well. Therefore, teachers should not give homework on the weekends. All right, so let's take a look at this passage and see if we see anything different than we saw in the first passage. I think right at the very beginning, I see something different because it says here, homework. Notice this author says homework is more harmful than helpful. So I would say this person thinks homework is not a good thing on the weekends, right? Not a good idea at all. Notice how they give some evidence for their opinion right off with a university study. And so they're saying, we don't like homework. Here's a study to prove it. That's your proof, your evidence, all right? Your examples. In this particular writing you're going to use examples from one of the 2 passages or both of the passages that we just read as some of your evidence, okay, for your opinion. Okay, or the reasons for your opinion. The study leaders asked, does homework help students do better in school? Homework had very little effect on younger kids especially. So, again, he's saying here we don't need to have homework, right? Now, let's look at the second paragraph down here, okay? The other reason, or he's working on the same reason kind of, when he says homework can actually harm students. There he is again. He's saying we don't need homework on the weekends. Young people need their weekends. They should forget about school. They should just be kids. Okay? If we have homework, it's stressful. There's another reason he gives. And it ruins their time off. Now look at how he ties this together with the last paragraph. On weekends, we need time with our families. Okay, sports and hobbies. What happens if kids can't do these things? Well, look how this particular author decides to tie this opinion in. Imagine he were writing to a teacher. He ties this opinion into the teacher's needs. Look at what he does, and I'll show you what I mean. Says, look, if you don't agree with me, think about this. If you give kids homework on the weekends, they're going to come in tired and unhappy. And look what happens. They don't perform well. Okay? So he's appealing to the teacher or talking to the teacher here. If he were, he would make a good argument for the teacher not to give homework because he's showing the teacher that it's not good for them either. It's not just good for the students, but it's also not good for the teacher. Because if you have tired and unhappy students, they're not going to do well all week long, much less homework on the weekends. Okay, so again, this passage, this author says homework is absolutely not okay on the weekends. The other passage, they were in favor of homework on the weekends. So I want you to think for a minute about your opinion of homework on the weekends. Do you say yes or no? We should have it or shouldn't? That's what you're going to be writing about. I'll talk to you about it a little more in the next video.